Happy St. Patrick's Day! As you see, I'm wearing green in my room, which is green, so it's green everywhere today. Today, I'm of course gonna review an Irish beer today because it's St. Patrick's Day. I only get a hold of 2 different Irish beers at the moment, bottled versions, and that's Guinness and Kilkenny. But I found my favourite variety of Guinness. Guinness brews a whole lot of different Guinness versions, and it is the Guinness Special Export Stout, and I believe that isn't reviewed on here at all. It's a beer that is especially brewed for Belgium, and is a foreign stout, and it's on 8% alcohol by volume, so it's way heavier than the original Guinness. Yeah, it's a foreign stout, and I just got some info here on a foreign stout. Well, I've had this beer numerous times, by the way, and this is definitely my favorite of all the Guinness beers. It says here, foreign stout, this is from Rate Beer. Foreign stout began with the beer that would become Guinness Foreign Extra Stout. This was a stronger, extra hop version of the basic Guinness Extra Stout, brewed to survive long journeys overseas. The classic Foreign Extra Stout still exists in a few different forms, but many of the original destination countries, such as Jamaica and Sri Lanka, etc., now have their own locally produced versions. Foreign Stout occupies a position between Basic Stout and Imperial Stout. It is sweeter than a Basic Stout, but not as robust as an Imperial. It is less fruity and less hoppy as well. Foreign Stouts are sometimes made with local grains and adjuncts. Sugar is not uncommon. Alcohol range is from 6 to 8. Now, I haven't had many foreign stouts except this one. This is the only foreign stout I've actually had. That's why I didn't really know anything about the style, and that's why I chose to read aloud from Rate Beer instead. But it's really good. It's way more heavy and powerful than the original Guinness. And yeah, that's basically it. But it's my favorite of all the Guinness beers. That is the foreign special export stout, especially brewed for Belgium. But what was it I was going to say about John Martin? The brewery John Martin, I reviewed their Gordon's Xmas Ale. This beer was commissioned by John Martin in 1912 to be brewed and exported to Belgium. And this is the first ever variety of Guinness to be pasteurized, and that happened in 1930. So, sort of a special stout brewed to the Belgian market of beers. And it's very good. Let's just crack this here. Well, I'm not going to go into much about the brewery either, other than it was founded by Arthur Guinness, and it's been around since 1759. But here on the bottle it says, the genuine Guinness Stout, strong and dark beer brewed in Ireland. That's it. It's brewed in Jamesgate, Ireland, by the way. And Guinness is probably the world's most popular stout. Oh, it's just rising up there in the bottle. And I'm going to use... I don't have a nice big Guinness pint glass. Oh, I only have these... I have 2 of these small ones. And I'm going to use that instead of a snifter, because it is a Guinness beer. You got to drink it in the Guinness glass. But let's pour it. My favorite variety of Guinness. Not a thick head at all, really. Sort of the same color, not the nitrogen widget thick head. It is more like a bubbly head. Not really an amazing head at all. Doesn't look creamy really. And the color, well, like the other Guinness, this isn't pitch black at all. If you hold it up to the light, you can see reddish notes. So this is a very, very, very dark red. And as far as I recall, this is a pretty good stout. Let's check out the aroma of this Guinness Special Export Stout. Okay, there isn't actually a very powerful aroma at all. There is some though, and that's definitely the roasted notes. Definitely, it's quite well roasted. What else is there? Some coffee. Also a bit of the alcohol, but it's not much, even though it's on 8% alcohol by volume. It's a pretty heavy beer for a Guinness beer. That's pretty much it. There is maybe some licorice as well, but it's not much at all. Let's dig in and check out the flavor of this beer. It's pretty good. Yeah. Still, it's only a medium body. It's not as thick and dense as you get with a lot of other like imperial stouts and all that. But that's what they said. It's not as dense as an imperial stout, but it's sort of a medium body, yeah. And it's very roasty. It's pretty good. Well, most of the flavor is a very, very roasted malt type of character. It's also quite dry, actually, even though it's not a dry stout. And also, you get a little bit of chocolate, but mostly licorice, and it also tastes a bit like it's burnt, which I like. Again, it's much sweeter than your average stout, and it's got sort of a hoppy taste to it as well. Not much, but it's there definitely. But the body is not as you would have wanted it. But this is sort of like IPAs, that is an export beer. Then a foreign stout is an export. It was originally an export beer as well, but it's fairly good. It's not my favorite stout in any way, but it's definitely the best beer Guinness has to offer. Even though it's not like thick and dense and all that, but it's a foreign stout, not an imperial stout. But by the way, there is also the alcohol. I can taste that in my palate now. You also get some chocolate in the aftertaste, actually. There's some tar as well, maybe some charcoal. But it's pretty good. I'm gonna rate this like an 89, just like bordering on a 90 on a really good stout. Because it is a really good foreign stout, and I like it a lot, and it's quite easy drinkable for that amount of alcohol. But this is my favorite beer that Guinness has got to offer. It's pretty good. I don't know if you can get it outside of Belgium. This one is imported from Belgium. There's probably some importers around the world who imports this from Belgium, but because it's originally only brewed for the Belgian market. But the Guinness Special Export Stout. An 89, a really good actually stout from a brewery that a lot of people think is a bit overrated, but I like this one pretty much. It's pretty good. And cheers, guys. Have a very good St. Patrick's Day. Don't get too wasted for you guys who have to go to work tomorrow. I'm one of those guys, and cheers, and I'll see you in the next review.